Alright, so growing up I had two. First one was my skin, which over the years has got a lot better, I'd have to say, which left one other one, the one that came out of nowhere and took precedent over the other skin issue. It was all to do with my smile, so I fixed it. And you know, that's what I'm saying, bro. I got that 4K smile up in this grill, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, clearly I don't have any diamonds in my mouth, so... yeah, I do have a metal though. I do have a metal, titanium. Humble brag. But yeah, the reason why is because I lost a tooth right in the center of my mouth. It was my front tooth, and it cost £4,000 to get it back. Well, not the old one, but a new one costs £4,000. Alright, so let me give you a little bit of backstory here. So it all started when I was only like 5 or something years old. I was running around in a playground with my friends. We were playing it, and then suddenly out of nowhere, the person that was supposed to be catching everyone else, they tagged me, and due to the uneven ground of the playgrounds, schools, you should really get that fixed, man. It could cause a lot of harm to more people like myself. I ended up falling flat on my face, and when I got up, I saw on the ground a stone. But in actuality, it wasn't a stone, it was my tooth. But in actuality, it wasn't actually my whole tooth, it was just like a little piece of it, which is probably why it resembled a stone, why I thought it was a stone. My mum came to pick me up, I think it was a long time ago, and I went to the dentist and they said, oh, it's alright, it's only half of it gone, let's just fill it up. So they filled it up, and that was the end of that story for a while. But then fast forward many years, and that same tooth started to hurt. So I was like, yo, what the frick is going on? I was around 16 at this time. Told my mum, yo, mum, my tooth is feeling a bit uneasy still. So she said, okay, let's take you to the dentist. Took me to the dentist. They realized, yo, that same tooth with that filling there, yo, it's all mashed up. You need to go and get that fixed. And I said, how do I get it fixed? And I was like, oh, well, I mean, we can't really fix it. What I mean is we have to take it out. So 16-year-old me was thinking, damn, isn't this what like 80-year-olds have to deal with? So they took out my tooth and they said, okay, well, you know, because you're a young guy, you're not actually able to have the special thing where we would drill a hole into your jaw and all that, because you're still a growing young lad, your jaw hasn't really matured yet. So we're gonna do something extra fun. We're gonna create a little bridge from your other adjacent tooth into this new one that we're gonna make. It'll be like you've got a tooth there. And I was like, okay, I mean, I guess that's fine. You know, as long as I don't have a gaping hole in my mouth for everyone to see, then I'm fine with that. So they created this Maryland bridge, and for a few days and stuff, it was fine, but it never wanted to stay attached. It kept falling off. And yeah, I went through a very hard time with it always falling off. Luckily, my dentist was right next to my school, so I could always nip out and run back to the dentist and wait hours to be seen because I hadn't actually booked an appointment. My dentist just sympathized with this young man constantly having his front tooth falling out. Probably would be difficult for most young men his age. But yeah, fair to say, it caused me a lot of problems. So I made it my mission one day, once I was finally old enough to go ahead and get the real thing done, get that drill up in there and go zzz, put in a real titanium bad boy in there. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have this smart cleaning, son. So yeah, I went ahead and had a consultation, and they said, wow, yeah, dude, £3,000. I was like, okay, that's light work. I mean, I was working and I wasn't earning that, but finance is a thing. And you know, I didn't go uni, so I didn't have any other debt to worry about. I started financing it, and then at some point they said, yo, we're gonna actually need to like put some more bone in there. You ain't got enough bone. So that's gonna cost an extra £1,000. And at that point I was like, well, you're already taking 3 away from me, so what's an extra 1 on top? Let's make it even 4K. And yeah, after a few years of going through processes of adding bone and having it heal, and then adding a hole in my mouth and then having that heal and then adding it in, finally, I've got a nice spanking new smile. £4,000 worth smile. Was it worth it? Is the question. Here's where it gets into my kind of philosophical thinking around this smile, because I'm starting to think, was it worth it to do that. When you commonly hear people saying to people that want to get their breasts enhanced or fix their nose or something, saying, dude, you know, you should just be happy with yourself, and, you know, like, your body is what you were born with, it's what God gave to you, so, you know, just learn to be happy with it and all of that stuff. But is it pretty much the same thing? I mean, I'm sure it can be really easy to write it off and, you know, say, dude, don't worry, man, like, this is, it's different. Something happened to you and you made the changes to fix it, so, you know, fix it back to how it was before that terrible incident of your childhood. But is it that different? I mean, we deal with a lot of things that come into our lives all the time, and they shape us to how we end up being. So what's to say that there's a difference with being born with a defect versus a defect coming into your life whilst you're living it? It kind of reminds me of that conversation that Sasuke and Naruto had, where Naruto was born without having parents, but Sasuke had his whole clan murdered, and so he told Naruto, you don't know how it feels, dude, because you never had it in the first place. And I guess that does resonate with me a bit. I mean, it's not like I was born without a tooth. Well, actually, I was. But I had got accustomed to having that tooth in my mouth for quite a while, so I don't know. But even that being said, £4,000 is a lot of money. But does that money that I spent on getting a new tooth equate to what it's worth for what it does for me in terms of my confidence, in terms of my ability to go out there and do things? If you ask me now, would I pay £4,000 to have my confidence be increased tenfold? I'd say no to you. I think I'm pretty much a confident guy already as it is. I don't want to see it increase that much. Probably end up being just pure arrogance at that point. But when I was at a stage where I had a tooth falling out and inconveniencing me at the most random times, I probably would say, yeah, man, that sounds like a good deal. Of course, this confidence though came in a physical form, physical manifestation. It's a weird one. But then that brings me on to self-improvement as a whole. A lot of people pay a lot of money to go on self-improvement courses to get better at speaking, get better at their negotiating skills, etc., etc. Is there much of a difference then when it comes to that versus getting plastic surgery? Someone might say, hey, if I had bigger boobs, I would feel a lot more confident in myself. And in actuality, it might end up happening. They might feel a lot more confident in themselves. They might see that as a worthwhile investment. I think it works if there's substance behind it. The only pitfall that there is a lot of the time is when you change one thing about yourself, a lot of the time you start looking at the other things that you also want to change about yourself. You start to notice them. As you fix one thing, you want to fix something else. So your boobs might be fixed and you're like, okay, this is nice, but I want bigger lips now. So you get your bigger lips and now you're like, actually my neck is too small, let me elongate. You get the point that I'm trying to make. But in this life where we're constantly being bombarded with ways to self-improve, courses, videos, I think it can be important to sometimes just stop. Take a look at what you have. Take a look at what you're grateful for. And just think whether you really want to put in the effort, time, or money to fix whatever it is that you want to fix. If after doing all of that you still think, yeah, I do want to fix this part of me or this skill that I have, etc., then do it. I think as long as there's substance behind your reasoning and the results that will come off whatever you're going to change will create a great impact to your quality of well-being and life, then don't listen to whoever's trying to stop you, is what I have to say. So yeah. So I guess the conclusion of this video is there isn't one. It's a massive grey area, and there's loads of different things that you can do to change your body or change something about yourself. You just gotta really look inside yourself and figure out if it means that much to you, and if it does, don't listen to what anyone else says and do what makes you happy. Of course, as long as it's not harming anyone else. But that's it. If you like this video, guys, give me a like, subscribe for more content, and yeah, that's it. Take care.